Oh man, episode 4. Episode number 4.
Retro gaming in 20 years.
Retro gaming 20 years, man. All I know is I'm gonna look good.
Yeah, I'll be like, alright.
Do you think? Oh, you want me to kick it off? Oh wow, I feel honoured. Alright, cool. Let me just prepare for this honour. Hey guys, Andy and Z here for SRG podcast episode number 4. And today we're going to talk about what will retro gaming be like in 20 years time.
It'll be dead.
Thanks for tuning in. See you on episode 5.
We're done. In 20 years, sorry, this is a really annoying topic for me. Because I'm all about retro gaming. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, stop laughing at me. And
just the way you said it. Well, I was hoping that we would
be a conversation.
You just really threw me now, man. I lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, let me pick it up. So, retro gaming in 20 years. Why will it still be a thing?
Okay, my 2 takes. I think. What are you doing, man? Retro gaming in 20 years. Now, I'm going to look back and look forward from this moment in time. Now, we have the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, whatever it's called right now. Okay. Rewind 20 years. We're going to go back to the year 2000s, which is like the PS2 days. N64. God. What? That's just throwing me as well, because I was, just 18? Yeah, about 18 years old.
I think the GameCube was out in those days.
Oh, man, that's made me feel even older.
GameCube.
Can we just take a moment in this video right now? No, shaking. Now look, I'm going to go back 20 years and we'll look towards 20 years. Right, going back 20 years, we had likes of the PS2 and all that kind of jazz. And gaming was fun. As I think we can both agree, having our friends around, which we talk about. And I think we said this on every episode about having our friends over and how it was back in the day.
Yeah, I'd get all my mates around and we'd all sit and play the original version of this. It was a little bit bigger. I listened to this.
Yeah,
it's just yeah. Sorry,
that's kind of cool. So 20 years ago, we were able to grab a console, connect up to the TV, had our friends around, la-di-da-di-da. Yeah, cool. Today, we don't have to have our friends around. We can just throw on a microphone or a headset, shall I say, and play online, which we've done a few times. For convenience reasons, it's great, but it takes away that whole bringing your friends together element. Do I like it? I can take it or leave it. I normally game on my own. I'd probably do more story-based games rather than play online so much.
Okay.
I played COD online on, I think it was Modern Warfare 2, so that was the PS3. I think I played online for 3 days and quickly realised I am not that good. So I played the story game. I think the story's amazing. In 20 years' time, going back on what we spoke about 2 episodes ago, is the console dead? By then the console would have died, and it will be bring your own device. Whatever device you have, you can game on it, whether it be a mobile phone, a tablet, TV.
So mobile phones won't be around in 20 years?
Or a handheld device. Sort of handheld.
There'll be no handheld devices left.
Break it down. Let me hear your take.
So we're already moving. We're completely off topic here, guys. And thank you for taking us down a totally random tangent.
Okay, my bad.
So we're already moving into smart devices that sit on your body.
Yeah.
Watches, as an example. We're going to move into contact lenses eventually, VR, and AR. You don't need a console or a device for it. Mobile phones will go the way of the dinosaur within the next 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
I think we'll be done with handheld devices. So gaming will have to evolve and change at that point in time. So the way we play games in those days is going to be very, very different.
Break it down. How do you think
we're not going to be? I don't think we're going to be using our hands. We're not going to be holding controllers.
Then what will we using?
I don't know. We'll be using our bodies. We'll be part of the game. We'll be part of the narrative.
So then it will be. So the Nintendo Wii essentially was what we're going to have in the future.
A window into what would happen. Yeah.
Wow.
This is what I think.
Shout out to Nintendo.
So I want to take this back to the original question.
All right. Cool.
What will retro gaming be like in 20 years' time? I think that what we've got retro gaming is today is in its twilight years. And what I mean by that is retro gaming is alive today is because we can still pick up a console, we can still pick up a cartridge, stick it into N64, we can still pick up a CD, and we can still plug it in and place it in, and it runs, which means that we can still play classic games.
Yeah.
Yes, emulation, Nintendo doesn't like emulation, fine, but how will we play games that we don't own the physical media to? Everything is run off of a server and online environment. Those servers go offline in give or take 8 years, 10 years after the end of the run of that console. So in 20 years' time, the gamers of today who are playing all of their, what's it called, League of Legends or whatever it is online, that they play. So how will they play those games in 20 years' time from a nostalgia, retro gaming perspective?
Do you think that, that's a good question, do you think that the gamers of today aren't really concerned about retro gaming? They're like, do you think they move with the times a lot quicker than we have?
So I'll answer your question with a question.
Okay.
When you were 15 and when you were 20, did you care about retro gaming at that point?
No.
You weren't worried about how you're going to play this game in 20, 30 years' time. You were just playing it in the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
So gamers now are just playing it in the moment. They're not thinking, how am I going to play this with my child in 20 years' time or 25 years' time? It's not a thought. At least I don't think it's a thought. It certainly wasn't a thought for me. And you just said it wasn't a thought for you. So I stand by what I said at the beginning. I think retro gaming is going to end in the near future. It's really sad. It makes me sad. I love retro gaming. I love old consoles. And I think once our generation and maybe the generation after us have also gone the way of the dinosaur, I don't know who's going to carry it on. Consoles from the 70s, 80s, 90s, they probably won't be working. We'll probably find a way to run them through servers and online environments. Perhaps, who knows? VR, AR, who knows? But I don't think retro gaming in the traditional sense of how we play retro gaming. This, for example, I was rabbiting on about Super Mario Kart in the last episode, right? Yeah. Saying that it was my favorite game. This is actually me playing. You can see how bad I am. But I wonder how it'll evolve. But I don't think it's going to be the way that we think it'll go.
Then what's your take on it? I mean, I hear where you're coming from.
No, you say, because I've been talking like that. I'm going to say it like this now.
Flexing. So emulation is becoming bigger and bigger as each day goes by. Technology, I mean,
no thanks to Nintendo.
I don't want to get banned
by Nintendo.
Yeah, actually, something like if we get banned by Nintendo, we made it.
Can we make it first?
Fair enough. So emulation is becoming more and more available. There's so many more online platforms that you can download.
Okay.
Emulate sure. From all that kind of stuff. I mean, like the Vita, for example, it was quickly hacked after it was released. I love my Vita because for me it was a portable PlayStation, and I think it's one of the best handheld devices.
Are you going to get the new one?
Possibly.
Okay.
Honestly, possibly. I really enjoyed playing.
You're a PlayStation gamer, aren't you?
Yeah. And
note the PS5 controller.
Yeah. You're going to give me the 30-year edition one though, yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Got it on tape.
When we get to 2,000 subscribers.
Okay.
And he called it tape. There's no tape.
Alright, please, I need that controller, yeah? 2,000 subscribers, yeah? 2,000 subscribers. But, I love playing my handheld consoles. And it, again, reminds me of my Game Boy. And I love playing my Game Boy as well. And I actually found it in one of my boxes at Mum and Dad's. I was like, let me see if this works. 4 AA batteries, turn it on, and it works. How old is that console? Now, you would know the dates more than I do.
It's in the 80s.
So, I remember getting that on, I think my auntie and my uncle got it for my birthday.
Right.
Must have been 6 or 7. But 4 AA batteries, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet and simple. There's no technology. I mean, people will say, yeah, but there's lack of technology behind it. Is it? Fair enough. That was what was available.
That's then. Really why it works.
Yeah.
Because it's less complicated.
So that was what was available then. Now we have so many more things available, and it'll be stupid for us not to take advantage of them. Hence why, yeah, I do I am going to miss playing the N64 in its original form, the Super Nintendo in its original form, my PlayStation in original form. But I also know that if I do have the urge to play it, there are other platforms out there. They may not offer the same nostalgic or the same core memories I have, but I'm just happy that I get to play them in some sort of way.
That's fair. All right. So, Analog, the guys at Analog, amazing work. They're releasing a new version of the N64. Sorry, I can't speak today, guys. Sorry. Analog are releasing a new version of the N64 called the 3D.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. Yeah.
Have you got one on order?
Kind of like I'm almost there. Might hit.
Mine's on order.
Seriously,
it's on order. The white one's already sold out, by the way. So you can't even get that one. I delayed ordering the white one by maybe 2 hours.
Right.
Went back to it, sold out. So I've now got the black one on order.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, that should provide the closest experience to the original N64.
Why?
Because it doesn't use emulation, so it uses the original carts.
Oh.
And the only downside is the controllers don't. I don't know the answer to this one. Maybe you guys can tell me if it uses the original controllers or not. I don't think it does. I think you have to get an 8-bit Do controller, which I also ordered as well. What? Why is that funny?
Well, it's just you being you, man. I just love it.
I actually have no idea what just happened there, guys. Maybe he can tell you later.
No, just the way you dropped in and said, I ordered that as well. No, my days, dude. Just like,
you have to.
We're going to pour this stuff.
I don't know. I'll find a space.
There you go.
Nikki, you're out. But I think that will be the nearest experience that I can get to playing the original cartridges on a HD TV, which will be on a big plasma, big LCD TV like you've got here, or the big projector that we've been rabbiting on about at my place for a while. The N64 doesn't work very well. The N64 works because it uses CRT technology in order for it to represent its polygon graphics. But in 20 years' time, I don't know what Analog's going to be doing. I hope you guys are still around because I love your work, but I don't know if they're going to be around. And if they are around, what version of old school games are they going to have to produce in order for us to replicate the old ways of playing video games?
Wow. No, you just went biblical like that.
He's really helping me a lot in this podcast.
No, because the way you broke that down. The way you broke that down was really interesting because you've looked at it from the past and now people how they're trying to bring it to today's market to be able to, like, collectors like yourself and myself.
Well, like, look, you've done it here.
Yeah,
you've done it here with this.
Yeah, just makes my life a little bit easier to play my games.
It's got a HDMI out that makes it playable.
Yeah.
On something like this without any degradation of image. So the N64 is actually terrible when you're upscaling. It's really bad.
Yeah, we played GoldenEye, right?
It was a blob.
This. Yeah,
it was a blob. You can't. It's like shoot the blob.
It's like, how did we get headshots playing on this back in the day? It was true. How did we get headshots on that?
And you needed a CRT TV.
Yeah, 100%.
So Analog, by producing the 3D, will bring the N64 hopefully to a new generation of gamers who've never had a CRT TV.
Wow.
They've only ever seen it on video gaming on this or their laptop. So to them, they're like, okay, I want to play, I don't know, GoldenEye, as we were just talking about it, and they can plug it in and it goes up on this, and they can actually then technically play it with their family and friends in the same room.
Good point. Will it still offer... Sorry, let me rephrase that. If someone were to play GoldenEye on this new console, won't it have the same problems that we have trying to get the N64 original on this TV?
No.
Why?
Because of the way that they've designed it. So it has a HDMI out, similar to how this has a HDMI out, and it runs perfectly.
Okay.
That the new Analog 3D has a HDMI out, which scales correctly on modern TVs.
Okay, cool.
Because the original N64 requires CRT technology for it to render correctly. That's why when you plug in an N64 to a modern TV, it just doesn't work. Don't do it.
Well, you can just let us know what you think about it. But yeah, we put let people like do something, man. Like let them like explore.
All right, have a go.
Yeah.
Make a video and send it to us.
Definitely have a go. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I plugged this into this. I plugged the N64 into my TV. Games like Mario Kart was okay, but again, I love GoldenEye, and it was like, you know, I need thicker glasses kind of thing. You know, I need to be seen. They're not that bad. They're not that bad. You know, I know I'm getting older, but I'm not that old.
No one's getting younger. Everyone's getting older. It's all good.
But I think, what else did I play? Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah,
not Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Kazooie, the first one. I played that. That wasn't that bad. So there are some games that didn't stand the test of time, which if this console does offer that same a better experience, I'm all for it. Going back to the original question, what will game be like in 20 years' time? Do you think then, if we're going to have this technology available, as in people are making such games, so gamers like yourself and you and I have got the original console, do you think that's going to be around in 20 years' time? Because clearly they thought 20 years ago, I want to play this game, so we haven't got nothing today that we can hook up to an HDMI TV. So,
I think it's going to become a niche industry.
Do you think it already is?
No, I think actually right now, I think retro gaming is growing. I think there's more retro gamers around now than there have been in the last 15 years.
Ooh,
and me and my brother have been doing this since the 90s. So we've got consoles from the 1980s. ZX Spectrums, Ataris, Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive, SNES, which comes into the 90s, Atari ST, which is also the 80s. So I think it's growing. I think it's becoming a larger market. And at some point, these people are collecting all these consoles. Yes, we'll constantly be exchanging devices between each other. And that's fine. But there's no more of these being made. So they're going to become more and more niche. They become much rarer as time goes by, as they fail. Yes, there'll be people who try to repair them, but not everything is going to be repairable because parts are going to become more and more scarce.
Yeah.
So there's a constant decline in a supply of these old original devices. So at some point, it has to all go online. It has to be emulated in order for it to run. So you've got a Nintendo Switch. You're a Switch gamer. I'm a Switch gamer. We've got the NES on there. We've got the SNES on there, and you've got the N64.
Correct.
But we're at the beck and call of Nintendo.
Yeah. So whatever games they have on there are the only ones we can play.
Yeah.
So if there's I'm so happy they put Banjo-Kazooie on there because I do like that game. I think it's kind of fun. But if I wanted to play Track and Field or something, I don't know. Apology if it's already on there, but it's the first game that came to mind. If I want to play Track and Field on the N64 and it's not on there, I can't play it. The
game that I want on there, Nintendo, if you do ever watch this in any way, shape or form, before you cancel us, please put on Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Super Nintendo, on the SNES, on the Switch emulator, please.
Ooh, because with the 10-star sheet built in.
It's on the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
And the sound of the Mega Drive version is terrible. So
I'm going to take your word for it. I never played Street Fighter on the Mega Drive.
We'll play it later.
Cool.
But the SNES version is brilliant. So what will retro gaming be in 20 years? Wrap it up for me.
Emulation. I think it will be emulation.
All right.
Because people want something. We're already going in the way. We're already at the world where everyone wants something now. And emulation, to a point, offers that. You download this onto your phone, device, whatever you want. You download some ROMs legally. And then away you go. Doesn't take much to set up. So I think it's going to be emulation. Your final thoughts, please.
I don't think retro gaming is going to survive in the way that we do retro gaming. I don't think it's going to be a thing anymore. Makes me really, really sad because I absolutely love it. Online emulation, streaming, I think that is ultimately where we're going to end up. As sad as it is.
Maybe we should take it upon ourselves to keep it alive in some way, shape or form.
I'll take this home with me today.
Look, guys, thanks so much for watching. Can appreciate it. It was a bit of a longer episode. And if you made it past the first 90 seconds, what you chatting about, Willis? There goes the 90s term there, or 80s per se. If you made it past the first 90 seconds where Z basically wrapped up the whole thing, thank you so much for sticking with us, and we'll see you on episode 5. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.